wireless connections. Let's proceed with this and let's try to understand what are they. Okay, so if you see, for all the wireless connections, wireless network transmissions, you have to focus on 4 important aspects. Okay, so first thing you mentioned, like bandwidth. What is the bandwidth? This is one thing, bandwidth, or you can say frequency. Okay, so then after bandwidth, next important thing is speed, or speed of the transmission. Okay, so next you have to think and understand with respect to speed of the transmission. Then range of transmission or distance of transmission. Okay, then what kind of waves will be used in this. So these would be the important topics that you will have to understand when we discuss with respect to each wireless transmission. Okay, so if you see from this perspective, first, when we look from the point of the first one, Bluetooth, and before to this we can have near field communication. Have you heard about NFC? 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 So there would be something called near field communication. So in simple fashion, we will call it as NFC. Okay, so first let us discuss with respect to something called NFC. So NFC means, but most of you might be aware. How many of you travel through metros? Okay, so you will have your smart metro card. So what kind of technology you will use to enter into metros? You will take your smart card and you will tap it there and you will enter. So when you show it, how will it catch it? Remember your metro cards, usage of your metro cards. Okay, and if you're not using metro cards, then you remember, for somewhere you will use your ATM card, debit card, and all those things. Tap to pay. You will tap so that it will catch and payment will be done. So how will that be done? And if you see, like a FASTag technology. So if you're using vehicles and on the national highways, you will pay the toll taxes, toll fee with the help of the FASTags. So there, what kind of technology is used? Again, near field communication. And even if you see, for example, all other contactless cards or like transit cards or payment technologies, they will use all this near field communication technology. No, Paytm and QR code is different aspect. QR code is different aspect. There you will scan and then details will open, and that is different thing. Here we are like using simple connection would be there and we will be connecting. So that is different. QR code aspect would be different. Okay. So here, like, remember tap to pay kind of things, tap to pay kind of thing, or like when you touch your metro transit card, then gates will open, that stuff. Okay. So here, when we use this, what is the bandwidth of this thing? So usually when we use this near field communication, bandwidth would be around 13.56 megahertz. Frequency would be denoted with the help of hertz. Okay, megahertz. So 13.56 megahertz. That would be the wave frequency of this near field communication. It works with this. And if you see, what is the speed of transmission of the data? Speed of transmission of data would be around 106 to 424 kilobytes, kbps speed. Okay, so kbps, make it like kbps. So kilobytes per second. So that is the speed of transmission of the data. Okay, now range or distance. So in which range these things will work? We are saying it as near field communication. So in which range it works means, usually two very important things that you have to keep in mind is that in order to establish connection with one device to other device, so that devices should be there within a distance of 4 centimeters. That means two important things that you have to remember here. For establishing connection establishment, for that devices should be within a distance of 4 centimeters. Are you getting that? Devices should be there. Be clear with this. Devices should be within a distance of 4 centimeters so as we establish connection with respect to this one. Okay. And then if you see like for transmission of the data, like for data transmission, usually the devices can be there at a range of 10 centimeters, at a distance of 10 centimeters. That means transmission of the data can take place after establishing the connection, then you can remove and they can be there with in a range of 10 centimeters. In a range of 10 centimeters means you see like if this is one small scale, so one small scale will have 15 centimeters, in that 10 centimeters. So that should be the range. In this range only data can be transmitted likewise. Okay, so that is one another important thing. Likewise, you remember. So here, what kind of waves, what kind of electromagnetic waves will be used here? So usually in this, radio waves will be used for transmission of the data. Okay, so radio waves will be used. Is that clear? So in simple manner to just suggest, tell the examples, payment technologies like tap to pay, okay, transit cards like metro cards, so they will use this technology, and then contactless cards, so that will use this technology. And in simple fashion to explain this, NFC is an extension of RFID technology, radio frequency identification technology, RFID, radio frequency identification detection technology, RFID technology. So RFID technology is used, actually used in the FASTag system. It is an extension, like how that used to function. In the similar fashion, they will function. Are you getting that? So this near field communication is a kind of, it is an extension of RFID technology. So that is one thing. Are you getting? Yes. Yes. Bandwidth. Bandwidth means electromagnetic waves will have specific frequency or wavelength. Okay. Bandwidth means here we are denoting them with the help of frequency. In which range of frequency they, what is the range of frequency? Likewise, frequency or wavelength would be like electromagnetic waves will be arranged in bands, in the form of bands. Okay, so that is nothing but bandwidth. So that is with respect to near field communication. Can you able to remember that? So remember these data. So actually you won't get this data in a systematic fashion. So write down that, and there were questions, and there can be probable questions in the future also. Okay, so if you see previous year questions, you will get like there was a question on near field communication with respect to these things only. Okay, so just refer the previous year questions once. So actually as I said, I don't want to spoon feed everything. So there should be some little efforts from your side itself, your side also. So refer, when you refer, it shows you are interested. If I am just projecting, when I am doing this, it doesn't make me, and it doesn't consume my time also to bring PYQs here. But thing is that if I am doing everything, then what will you do? Whether you are writing the exam or I am writing the exam. Okay, so why am I suggesting means when you see, then it shows your interest. When you refer, then you will further revert it back to the concepts. Okay, so put little efforts so that you just see like in which year there was a question with respect to your field communication, so that it enhances your insights and you will actively engage. Okay, so for example, if you are bringing questions and if I are just doing it here, so you will come with the questions, but thing is that your involvement will become passive. Okay, so that is one thing. So then, no dear, no dear. So Bluetooth entire properties will change. We'll see what are that. Okay, but it's nevertheless it's a kind of wireless connection, wireless transmission connection. Yes, network. 13.56. Yes. No, with respect to near field communication, it works with exactly this frequency. Okay, it works exactly with this frequency for near field communication devices. Okay, so when that is there, then it works efficiently like this. Okay, so next one, it is with respect to Bluetooth. Okay, let's see. So each thing will have its own properties and its own bandwidth, its own speed, its own range, likewise. So when we talk from the perspective of the Bluetooth will have a range. What is the bandwidth or frequency? Usually its bandwidth would be in a range of 2.4 to 2.45 gigahertz. 2.4 to 2.45, or to be precise, 2.485. You can make it like still 2.485. So this is the range, or this is the bandwidth of the Bluetooth. Okay, usually that works. So here, when we talk from the perspective of speed, so there we can have two versions of Bluetooth devices: Bluetooth 4.0 version, Bluetooth 5.0 version. Okay, so for example, like we will have two versions: 4.0 version and we will have 5.0 version of Bluetooth devices. If you see from this perspective of 4.0 version, usually speed will range from 25 Mbps speed to it extends up to 50 Mbps speed. Okay, 50 Mbps. So this is the range. Okay, if it is 4.0 version, so its speed will be 25 Mbps, and if it is 5.1, it can extend up to 50 Mbps speed. Okay, so that is one thing. And then what is the range, or what is the distance to which it can be transmitted? So generally, to say in terms of feet, if we discuss, so it may range from 30 feet distance to 60 feet distance. I am writing here feet. Okay, so you can just convert it in the form of the meters also. So it will roughly come around 10 meters on an average. Okay, so 30 feet to 60 feet. If it is 4.0 version, 30 feet would be the distance of Bluetooth, and 5.0 version, 60 feet would be the maximum distance. So range would be likewise. So if you say from the perspective of so this is one thing. Versions, like for example, when you see UT, you see computer processor, i3 processor, i5 processor, likewise. So versions, Bluetooth, like you see, if you see 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, first generation, second generation, likewise. On the evolution scale, we will have like fourth generation version of Bluetooth, fifth generation version of Bluetooth, likewise. Okay, so that is one. So then, if you see with respect to type of electromagnetic waves used, so usually same radio waves will be used here also. Radio waves will be used here. Okay, so in simple fashion to say, Bluetooth is a kind of short range wireless data transmission network, data transmission communication network. So usually it will use short wave radio waves. Okay, so you remember like the wavelength here, it would be like what kind of waves we are using: short wavelength radio waves. Okay, if we are having short wavelength radio waves, in terms of frequency, can you say? In terms of frequency, can you say? Yes, frequency would be high. So what kind of waves we will use here means, we will use here UHF. UHF means ultra high frequency radio waves will be used. Okay, ultra high frequency radio waves will be used here. Are you getting that? That means questions would be like this also. Bluetooth will use ultra high frequency wavelength. They may just change it. Ultra high wavelength radio waves can be used. But that would be wrong. It would be ultra high frequency radio waves or short wavelength radio waves. You have to just differentiate these things. Small things, they will matter. These small things only they will trouble us in the exam. Big things, anyhow, big things and conceptual things, they won't cut it. But these are some factual things, they will stumble us in the exam. So likewise, okay. So that is one thing. So maximum range in terms of meters, if I want to say, this is in terms of feet. If you want to say 10 meters would be the maximum distance that you can transmit the data with the help of Bluetooth. 10 meters. Somewhere you can also mention with respect to meters format also. So this is in feet. So that is in meters, 10 meters. You can mention likewise. Okay. And now, what could be the problem with respect to Bluetooth? What could be the problem with respect to Bluetooth? So, one problem is that hackers can hack the data from the Bluetooth by a process called blue bugging. Blue bugging. Blue bugging is one way where hackers can hack the data by establishing unauthorized connection with the Bluetooth data. Okay, so blue bugging is a form of hacking that attackers will use to hack the data with the help of Bluetooths. Okay, so this blue bugging is also similar to something called blue jocking or blue netting. Okay, so blue bugging, blue netting or blue jocking. So all of them are a kind of unethical hacking of the data with the help of Bluetooth technology. Okay, remember that is one another disadvantage with respect to Bluetooth. Okay, so this is one thing. Okay, so then next important wireless device or network connection we will have would be there. It is with respect to Wi-Fi direct. Wi-Fi direct. So can anyone give any example of Wi-Fi direct devices? Bluetooth devices means it's well established, well known to you. In your mobiles you will have, so in your laptops you will have Bluetooth. So that is Bluetooth. Like for Bluetooth usage of earphones, your headphones, you will use Bluetooth. So you know Bluetooth, you might be aware. And now I am asking Wi-Fi direct. Wi-Fi also you are aware. Where is Wi-Fi? Where we will use? It's fine. Yes, please.
Sir, we use dongles, my geo dongles for establish Wi-Fi.
Uh, uh, it is different here.
Okay.
Why? Exactly, exactly. So when you see, like in your mobile phones, you might be using Share It, or you might be using Zender app. So mobile app, Zender app, Share It app. So how they will work? Wi-Fi direct. They will work with the help of Wi-Fi direct technology. So that means if you compare Bluetooth, same like wireless, but thing is that transmission of the data and the data speed, all those things would be less. And now when you see Wi-Fi direct, it will establish a kind of direct Wi-Fi direct kind of thing. So where advantages, we'll see what is the difference with this to this. So what is the bandwidth or frequency they will use? So usually they will work with the help of 2.4 gigahertz technology. So that is the frequency where it works. Okay, and you see, if you see with respect to the speed of transmission of the data, it would be roughly 10 times greater than the transmission speed of the data with respect to Bluetooth. Now you see it is 250 Mbps speed here, and when you go to Wi-Fi direct, you can have a speed up to 250 Mbps speed. Can you see 25 Mbps? Where is 25 Mbps and where is 250 Mbps? That means more than 10 times speed of the data that can be transmitted in the same time. So that is the advantage of Wi-Fi direct. Okay. So then what is the distance over which we can send the data? What is the distance means? Now you see, so maximum distance here you are using is 60 feet. Okay, 60 feet maximum, I am saying maximum. So if we look from the Wi-Fi direct point of view, so it can range up to 600 feet. It is roughly 100, it is roughly 10 times more than that. So with respect to speed and with respect to distance or range, it is like that. Up to 600 feet, we can establish the connection and we can transmit the data. So that is fun. Okay. So in the similar fashion, Like here, if we talk from the perspective of the range in terms of meters, we can have double. So here we were saying like simply 10 meters. Here we can go up to like let's say 180 meters also we can have, like 180 to 180 meters also we can have. So that is one another important thing. So in simple fashion to define what is Wi-Fi direct, Wi-Fi direct is a kind of peer-to-peer wireless connection network, peer-to-peer, person to person. Are you getting? Like your friend's mobile and your mobile will have Zender app or Share It app. So in that you will be sharing files. So it is peer-to-peer wireless transmission communication network. So key thing here you mentioned it is peer-to-peer, P2P. P2P communication mode, peer-to-peer communication mode, and here we will not have any intermediary wireless access points. Access points will not be there. Intermediary access points will not be there. That means usually when you see Wi-Fi, when you look at the Wi-Fi, you will have one backend, one internet service provider will be there, and in your home you will have some router would be there, and you will be connecting to your router, and then you will be using Wi-Fi. That means if we talk from the perspective of Wi-Fi, there would be an intermediary access point. That access point would be called as the router, Wi-Fi router. Okay, but with respect to Wi-Fi direct, when you are sharing data with respect to your friend with Share It, are you having any router? No. So that means I think is that you have to remember in Wi-Fi direct we won't have any intermediary access points. Router, such kind of things will not be there. Direct to transmission would be there. That's why it is peer-to-peer transmission network. Is that clear? So that is one thing that you have to remember. Okay.
These are using mobile hotspot. Hotspot can be using mobile hotspot is like that.
No dear, mobile hotspot will come under Wi-Fi network. It come under Wi-Fi network. So where we will say like Wi-Fi, hotspot is a kind of tethering kind of aspect. Okay, so that purely comes under Wi-Fi. Okay, so their hotspot is also a medium. Hotspot also acts as a kind of access point. Are you getting? For example, if you want to have access to the internet, you will be using hotspot shared from your friend. So it's a kind of intermediary. It's a kind of intermediary access point to the Wi-Fi. That means it is acting as an access point. That means it is not a part and parcel of Wi-Fi direct. Can you able to understand that? So here it is peer-to-peer transmission. When you connect on hotspot, when you don't have internet connection, what you will do? You will connect to hotspot provided by your friend. That means you're not connecting to your router, you are connecting to a hotspot. That's all. Are you getting? So that is one thing. So this is with respect to Wi-Fi direct. Yes. When we, what's your question?
When we say that
Okay, share data. That is through the Wi-Fi process. Wireless fidelity. We'll call that process itself, it is known as wireless fidelity technology. Wi-Fi technology, that itself is known as Wi-Fi. Okay, with the help of router. Her question is, if you are sharing data with the help of router, then what is it known? So it would be known as Wi-Fi technology. The technology itself is known as Wi-Fi. Okay.